What is going on, everyone? That was a pretty impressive Flyers win. You're coming off the emotional trade with Wayne Simmons losing a really valuable teammate, right? On top of that, the game itself, the game against the Penguins in the Stadium Series, very emotional. And the Flyers, they add Hartman, and they go out there, and they actually played for a legitimate 60 minutes, I thought, today. That was one of their most complete games that I've seen all year. All year. They played a very great game, very impactful. You had players step up and kind of steal the show, and there were a few. One, Ryan Hartman. And he played with energy. He played with a lot of passion, a lot of heart, and he was speaking to the media before his big debut here with the Flyers and said, the way I play, I think will fit in. Now, he was a first-round draft pick by the Chicago Blackhawks, and then he got moved to Nashville, and I know a lot about his game. He does play with a little instigating role. That's what he does. He likes to be an instigator out there, and he goes through spurts. He's really hot at times, and you say, damn, that is the first-round pick, Ryan Hartman. And then there's times where he dies out, and that's just what he has done over his career. But what he's doing right now, what he did tonight at least, it raised my eyebrows. I have a couple buddies that actually play in the NHL, and when they saw my tweet about how I said he's just a younger version of Raffl, they said, give him a little bit more than that. Give him a little bit more than that. And they thought that the trade was a little bit better than I saw with my eyes. So take it for what it is that a couple guys in the league said that I was being a little harsh with the comparison to Raffl. But with that being said, I'm not here to bash him. I thought he had a phenomenal game. We will talk about what he did. But it is a very, very emotional game for him. We need to see him play like this over a long period of time, and I'm all in. I'm all in if that's the case. So what did he do? He started out the game with an insane hit. He had to fight. He had another big hit in the first period. He had a blocked shot that led to a goal. He had a couple scoring chances. He was literally an emotional guy tonight, and that really sparked the Flyers team. Absolutely. I think the Wells Fargo did a phenomenal job as well, coming off the hype of the big Penguins comeback. That place was energized as hell. But Hartman was a big-time storyline coming into this because he just showed it. He full outplayed 3,000% and put everything on the line. And pretty much I'm sure he came out and said, I want to show Philadelphia I could play. I want to show Philadelphia what I could bring to the table. And he did just that. Oscar Lindblom. Okay, he was making plays happen. He had the one goal to get us going there. He was seriously all over the ice and making some things happen, producing offense for the Flyers squad today. I was very impressed. How about Brian Elliott? 34 saves. Really? Now he's coming into this with a little bit of fight. He seems like he got pushed away to the side. Now that makes sense, understanding the injury and all that. And then Carter Hart coming in, the promised land of this organization for quite some time. So Brian Elliott has something to prove, it seems, at his age. And he looked very solid. You can even say he looked great against the Penguins. He had the one fluky goal. But other than that, even in overtime, he came up pretty big. Brian Elliott, with 34 saves today, was awesome. And Myers looked great. Great. Got a point, too, while he was at it. Now, Scott Gordon goes with the 7D11 forwards. As a defenseman in my prime, I hated that. You're going out with different people all the time. You can't really get a set flow of anything. You're switching D partners. And it's interesting because then you have the forwards kind of rolling. Then you had double shifting people, and you're playing with someone new all the time. It's really a lot of switching around when you go with that. But tonight, I thought Scott Gordon put together some really interesting lines, some different pairings, and it all kind of worked out. See, he's just throwing people together, jumbling, see what happens, see what sticks, see who has some chemistry, and it definitely played out today as the Flyers played a full 60, like I said. They started out the game hot, going up 2-0 kind of early in this game in the first period, sparking the Wells Fargo Center up. They let the Sabres come back in. Eichel scores a peeper goal late in that period. It's 2-1. Then JVR comes out nice and hot and early in the second. We're back up 2. We allow them to come back 3-2. And then third period, Flyers take it for what it is. Bang, we score. And then empty netter Claude Giroux. 12 of the 19 skaters ended up tallying a point tonight. Claude Giroux had 2. But that's a lot of people on the score sheet. That really is a lot of players getting some assists, scoring some goals. A lot of different players getting on the score sheet, and that truly is tremendous. So we get a big 2 points, and it seems like this team is playing with a bunch of confidence. Maybe not ghost. That second goal that they scored, bad pinch. Really, really bad pinch. And they buried it. Now, one thing that I want to talk about that is, at times, the D pairing is Ghost and Myers. How much trust do we have in that? We have Ghost not playing his top game. We have Myers stepping into the NHL and obviously being very young and not having much presence at this level. Things like that kind of make me cringe at times. Just a little. But we're just kind of throwing them into the fire, and Scott Gordon has been doing a good job of that and keeping the locker room sane. We get a big 2 points. We're kind of on a rhythm. We're kind of on a high. But take a look at the standings, and this is where we're at. I mean, that's reality. This is where we're at. Every time we win, we need to go check the standings. Now, the Penguins played Columbus. We didn't want either of those teams to win. If somehow that could happen, that's what we needed. But the Pens ended up winning in regulation. The Canes, the Hurricanes, this hot-ass Hurricanes team, they won. And who else was it? The Habs. The Habs won as well. So what did that really do for us? That's the thing. We're gonna have to really put something together here. Really put something together here. We play Columbus on Thursday night. That is huge. 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 Insanely big. Insanely. Alright? So we're going to pull this up right now because now that the other games are all over, we can take a look at the standings and they will actually make sense. Because I was looking at them earlier and there were still games being played. So we're sitting at 67 points. The Blue Jackets have 73. The Penguins have 74. The Hurricanes have 74. We have work to do. We have work to do. That's reality. That's reality at this point. One thing I will say about this Sabres team, they started out hot. If you remember, they were first in the NHL at some time. Then they kind of fell to reality. But they have a fun team when it comes to some young players. Jack Eichel, yeah, the kid can score. The kid can really score. I remember watching him play when he was playing NCAA. The kid's a stud. He could put the puck in the back of the net. And Dahlin, okay, yeah, he's solid. He's solid. The way he skates, he's got a smooth stride. He's got great vision. He's going to be super special in this league. And it's fun watching those young players grow, in my opinion. It really is. I love watching young players like that and phenoms step into the NHL and be really effective. They have Middlestat as well. He is very solid. These young players, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time, but the Sabres kind of did fall off. And this was a big game in regards to standings, even though they're not like the Hurricanes or the Penguins or Columbus. They were in the mix. And they're slowly starting to continue to fall. I think they played the Toronto Maple Leafs and had a tough loss. This might have been the second of a back-to-back for them. I don't know if this was a back-to-back, but I know they just played Toronto. I think it was a back-to-back, though, now that I'm thinking about it. So, you just have to take a look at what Ryan Hartman did tonight, and it was special. And if he can keep that up consistently, then I'll be very, very, very happy. Very happy. But keep in mind how easy it is to be very emotional in a game like this, right? It's very easy. And I'm not trying to knock him. I would love for him to play like that consistently. But that has been his flaw throughout his career so far at the age of 24 after being drafted in the first round. It's consistency. But he could play like that if he can throw the body, if he can play with the emotion on his sleeve, if he can get some fights going, keep this team energized. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm about it. Oscar Lindblom, feed off that. Feed off that kind of night. Myers, continue to play, man. Continue to play. It's going to be interesting to see how Scott Gordon plays this out with the 11 forwards, the 7 Ds. Is he going to go back to the traditional 12 and 6? What's he going to do? Is he just going to keep throwing it out there? Whatever. Hey, let's roll the lines. Let's do this. Let's put him here, Grinder here, Sniper here. Whatever. Let's just do it. Let's see what happens. Is he going to continue to go to that extent? Is Ghost going to continue the little mental spot that he's in right now? How about Elliott? How is he going to perform? By the way, I just wanted to say this before we end the video with the Ryan Hartman thing. So we had Scott Hartnell, Hartsey, Carter Hart, Hartsey, Ryan Hartman. Is he Hartsey? I think John Clark tweeted at Scott Hartnell and asked him and said, I think his old nickname in Columbus, or I'm sorry, in Nashville was Deuce for the second Hartsey, but now he's the third Hartsey. I don't know what's going on here. So, I just thought that was kind of funny. Let me know your thoughts down below on this game. I thought it was a complete 60. I really do. A complete 60-minute game out of the Flyers. I couldn't even remember the last time we actually saw that. It's been some time. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.